This is real life, nigga, fuck music. Don't matter how I do it, I just do it. Never think twice, bro, I just do it. 23 Nike, just do it. This is real life, nigga, fuck music.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are looking back and reflecting on 9/11 because today's date, ironically, is September 11th, the year 2023, and it is a Monday morning. And I just want to take this time out to say, if you are watching this video right now, you have survived and you have much to be thankful for. And I want you guys to reflect in the comment section your personal thoughts on the particular subject that we're going to be talking about today. If you guys were present around the timing of the announcement, or were you close by when the situation went down, just let me know in the comment section. Be sure to drop a like on this video for those that have fought and tried to save as many people during this horrific event, but they have lost their lives. So, smash the like button for them, and also subscribe if you guys are new here watching for the very first time. So this is a picture of what it would have looked like in retrospect had nothing went down during that day. But now, as we visit World Trade Center, things look different. The feeling of even being there is different, throughout the years growing up, we were told that these were announced as the Twin Towers in New York City. Both towers being very similar in design, construction, size, and shape, but one had something extra on it that the other building did not have, and that is the one thing that basically made the two buildings stand apart from another. Regardless of that, on this very particular day, almost 3,000 people were killed. The plane went crashing into one building and then crashing through the other building because that's how close the buildings were to one another. Plenty of people were, rushed to the scenes, all of those that are a part of emergency response units. And, some of these guys were able to save certain, amounts of people, and some of these guys weren't able to save someone. And, it hit people emotionally and physically too. Now, during this time, in the year 2001, I was in school when this announcement happened, and it scared the shit out of me. If I'm being completely honest, in which I am, it literally scared the shit out of me because alarms were going off in the school, and I'm thinking, some idiot pulled the fire alarm again. And I'm also, trying to figure out who the hell did this, because last time it was me and it's not me this time, so who the hell is trying to steal my thunder? But then the teachers they're all conferencing in the hallway, and they're telling all the students to stay inside the classroom and lock the doors. And I'm just like, why the hell are they talking about lock the doors and stay inside the classroom? So I'm looking outside my window, and there is a thick ass fog of smoke, just like from yards and yards away, but we can see it. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on outside? And I'm telling everybody to look outside. Then teachers come back inside the classroom. They're like, get away from the windows, everyone sit down. And my teacher ends up rolling the TV from out of the closet, and somehow she was able to turn on the news. And I'm just like, I'm still all shocked in this moment because I'm seeing thick clouds of smoke, but it's from a very far distance, but we could see it from our school. And I'm just like, there's alarms going off, and then this chick pulls out a TV that manages to have cable or some crap. How is she doing this? So we're sitting here watching the news, and there's this, news on the freaking television talking about a hijacking of, the planes. And I'm over here just still so shocked. Didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say in the moment. These are all just thoughts running around in my head, and I'm a little child at the time. This is the year 2001, so this was way, 20 years ago. So I'm looking and I'm like, I'm still trying to process how is she able to, get cable on that television, because all we ever did was watch, documentary movies on, VHSs. So I'm looking here and we're watching it, and then she's just like, all right, everyone start preparing your backpacks and stuff. Your parents are going to be on the way. So I'm sitting in my seat. I got my stuff ready to go. And at this point in time, since everyone's not doing work and stuff like that, some of us are still trying to understand what's going on and everything like that. I remember there was this little girl that was crying in my classroom, and I didn't know what to say to her, but she was crying over there. I acknowledged it. I walked over there, and then I immediately ran back to my desk because it scared me. I'm like, she was really panicking, and like her panicness is sort of did something to me, caused me to run back to my seat. So now I am in my seat, and I asked the teacher, could I go get some water, outside of the classroom? Mind you, they wanted everyone to stay in the classroom. She told me no, So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go out anyway, because at the time, I've done a lot of wrongful things growing up in school. I was always the class clown, always trying to get someone's attention, always trying to belong to some sort of club. And it doesn't really matter which stage of school you're at, peer pressure is always going to hit you at any grade, at any level. So I'm just like, all right, at this moment, I'm gonna just go out there, get some water, see what's going on. And I'm looking, and I see security guards. They're running to the front of the school, and they're opening up all of the doors and letting in a bunch of parents. This whole crowd, this whole wave of parents just come swooping in, and they're going to the classrooms, and they're picking up their children. And then you got security trying to, basically organize and, make sure everything is going according to plan. And I'm still shocked, and at this point I'm just like, they really got contingency plans for situations like this. I was not made aware of this stuff. So I'm looking around in my classroom, and we're like, let's see if I could explain the hallway. The hallway is very long, right? So just imagine a straight line, and then you go all the way at the ending of the straight line. There is 2 classrooms, one on the right hand side and then one on the left hand side. And then there's this wall that that basically is in the middle. So there's the wall, my classroom's on the left, the other classroom's on the right, and then coming back down the line in the opposite direction, you can see all of the classrooms on each and every side of the left and the right. And there's also emergency staircase on the left hand side in the middle, basically separating the classrooms. So it's emergency staircase, the nurse's office, and then some following classrooms there. So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing all the parents from my classroom door. After I went back in there, I closed the door. I'm looking at the door. Teacher tells me to go to my seat. Obviously, I didn't listen. I'm standing on a chair and I'm looking out the door, and I'm looking at all the parents going to all these classrooms, and no parents were coming to our classroom. And I'm just like, where the hell is our parents? You know, I'm saying this in my mind. And then I finally see someone approach the door. They knock on the window for me to open up the door. And I start seeing parents slowly coming in, taking their children. So I'm sitting there still with the teacher, and I'm waiting, and I'm seeing all my friends go by, and I'm just like, okay, you know, don't panic. You know, somebody's gonna come pick you up, right? Somebody has to know what's going on. Mind you, still saying all of this stuff in my head. So I'm still seeing everybody go. Then it was down to 2 people left in the classroom, me and some other kid, I forgot his name. And of course the teacher was still there as well. So then the teacher says, while we're waiting for your parents, you guys can use the computers. So I'm using the computer, I'm playing games on it, you know, just trying to get my mind off the situation. And then this person's parents comes in, and I'm the last person left in the classroom. So now at this point, I'm frustrating, you know, I'm getting very frustrated. I'm panicking, I'm playing the computer, but at the same time, I keep checking to look at the door because I'm wondering, when is my parent gonna come and get me? And nobody came. I sat there until 2 o'clock watching the school get emptied out. I was sitting there on a computer. Then my teacher, she keeps making phone calls. She's just like, I got, you know, 1 student left in the classroom, so what do I do? And they're like, you know what, stay with the student and we'll keep trying to contact someone to come over. So this whole entire time I'm sitting here and I'm ear hustling like crazy because the teacher's on the phone with the principal. We had a telephone in the classroom, so it was kind of weird. It didn't make phone calls out to, you know, like your parents and stuff like that, but the phone itself made calls to like the principal and to the security desk. So those were, you know, the only people that you were able to call on that phone. So I'm sitting there, I'm trying to ear hustle, and I hear the principal just like, you know, taking count offs, like how many students you have in your class, going through the list and just asking all the, you know, these classes. Okay, my class clear, my class is clear. I got 2 people left. My class cleared, my class cleared. And then they get to my teacher and they're like, okay, we got 1 person left and it's Barry. And then the funny thing is the teacher's like, wow, you know, out of all the times I called your mom and, you know, out of all the times you have gotten in trouble, your mom was always here within a heartbeat, you know, and then now this situation pops off and you're stuck here with me. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of funny, you know. I finally start speaking and I'm laughing, and then we're just sitting there just kicking it, you know, just weird because at this moment, you know, the teacher's trying to distract me from what's going on out in the real world, you know. So we're all just sitting there, principal's there, there's some security guards there and the teacher's there, and we're all just sitting there and we're just talking and everything like that. And I'm just like, in this moment, you know, I didn't hate my teacher. At this moment, I'm like, I understand now, you know, how hard of a time I have been giving these people. Security have to always chase me in the lunchroom because I can never sit down. I'm always at the wrong table, or I'm starting a food fight somewhere, or I'm stealing something. And, you know, I'm just like, at this point in time, you know, all of the disrespect that I used to give them, I'm like, why was I doing this? Like, these people were so nice to me at this point. And I'm just like, wow, you know, this is crazy. A crazy, crazy day. And then finally, I hear my mom in the hallway, loud as hell. And I'm just like, oh man, now you come to get me? We over here having a good time, you know? I'm like, now she's here? I don't want to go. But she's like, come on, we gotta go. Hurry up, get your stuff, let's go. And I'm just like, I said bye to my teacher, and I'm like, bye, miss. You know how it is. We always call our teachers Mrs. or Mister. You know what I'm saying? We never really call them by their name, because most of us either forget their name or we just don't want to do it. So I was just like, bye, miss. See you tomorrow. And she said, tomorrow's Saturday, so you're not scheduled to come in. She's like, unfortunately, I'll be here, but you won't. Enjoy your weekend, Barry. And, she's like, it was fun to have you here. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? It was fun to be here. And then I'm like walking with my mom, and I'm like, everybody was leaving, and I was the only one there. I was scared. She's like, you were scared? It looked like you was having a good time. I said, well, yeah, we was, you know? And at that point, I knew whenever, a situation like this that is life-changing, I learned at that point in time that, nothing else really matters. As far as like all of your aggression, all of your hatred, none of that really matters. All you have to do is just live in the moment. Try to savor that moment, because you never know when that moment could be your final moment. So I'm sitting there, they're keeping me company, making sure I'm safe. We're all having a good time. And at this moment, we don't all hate each other. And it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. So now I'm walking down the street, we're going to our house, and I'm talking about it to my mom. Like, I seen the smoke from the classroom, and I seen the footage on the news. You could see the planes going into the building. And then when I get to my house, my mom is watching the news in the living room, and I stood there and I'm watching it. I was seeing so many firefighters, arriving on the scene as the news reporters, talking and everything like that. And I'm just seeing all these people just standing around, just looking they looked so soulless, you know what I'm saying? Like, people were so emotional. They look as if they didn't have any more souls in their bodies. And I'm taking all this in as a little kid. And I'm just like, this is crazy that this happened, And now when we look back, as adults and stuff, 20 plus years later, I'm just very thankful to be alive, And I'm also very thankful that I wasn't close, but I was still in, the New York area, you know what I'm saying, where it happened. Because World Trade Center, all of that stuff was in Manhattan, downtown. My school, I'm in the Bronx. So yeah, that's how, the five boroughs. You got Bronx, Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. So I'm just like, wow. I could see the smoke, And this is like on the level of what a hurricane or, like a tornado warning would be like, So I'm just like, I'm trying to just really process all of this. And my mom was just like, you know what? I don't want you to watch the news, but I'm like, I want to watch the news. This is the one time that I actually wanted to watch the news. I was always against watching the news. Every time it came on, I would freaking put pillows over my head, instantly go to sleep, because I would never want to watch the news. When it came down to me and my brothers, we had to share a room. We had one TV. And I'm just like, every time the news come on, they knew I was going to sleep. But I'm like, at this point, I want to watch the news. I want to see everything, and they were taking over every channel, messing up all the programs. My mom was pissed because, at this point in time during the day, she's watching her soap opera shows and stuff like that. General Hospital, One Life to Live, All My Children's, Jeopardy, and just all that stuff that used to come on throughout the day while we were at school. all of that stuff got just basically bombarded, you know what I'm saying, by the news. Every channel you would flick to, the news was on there. So I'm like, I'm watching it, and it still hits me. I'm about to cry again in the living room. And I ain't want my mother to see me cry, you know? I know that she knows I'm capable of crying, but I didn't want her to see me cry. And it just started to flow. The tears just started to flow. I'm like, I'm a kid trying to really process this. You know, this is my first ever hijacking experience. And I wasn't even on the plane. Just imagine if I were actually on that plane or present, you know, on a school trip in that freaking building. I possibly would have had a heart attack at a young age. I know it seems a little bit extreme for me to say that, but my emotions were very, very high. And I'm like, I'm crying. The Mr. Tough kid, you know, the one that wants to not listen and disrespect people and, you know, do whatever the hell he wants, is crying like a little schoolgirl over something that he could barely understand. It's crazy, man. It is literally crazy. But like I said, I am very, very thankful to be alive, you know. I'm very thankful that, you know, I was located in the Bronx and not somewhere in Manhattan, close by. And they have said, you know, this was the second worst thing that has happened to the area. The first thing being Pearl Harbor. So that was like, I want to say maybe 60 plus years before 9/11. So it's crazy. It is so crazy, man, to learn about it, you know, when you guys are, you know, learning about, you know, this stuff in class and everything like that. You can only get the realest perspectives from people that live throughout throughout the situation. You can't, you like, they can put this stuff in books, but it's better to get it from someone that's personally and was physically there during the moments, you know? So if you guys are fortunate enough to have guest speakers that come in, you know, to your classrooms and talk, you know, just take the time to listen. Don't interrupt them. Don't disrespect them. You know, always ask questions and wait till their story is over to ask these questions. But I would definitely say that, you know, if you do have a guest speaker that was, you know, around during 9/11, you know, ask them any question. I know it may hurt to, you know, want to ask them a question, but just ask them. What was the personal experience like for you, you know? Because these books are not going to be able to tell the full 100% story. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end off this video. If you guys have stuck around, I very much appreciate you guys for just taking the time out to listen and to, you know, reflect. If you guys are hitting up the comment sections, I'll be personally looking at every single comment that happens to pop up on this video. I will be replying to as many comments as you guys post there. And I just want to thank you guys so very much from the bottom of my heart for staying with me. The channel is starting to grow. We're at 517 subscribers. So thank you guys very much for helping me reach the milestone goal. I'll continue to put out content for you guys. And as long as you guys continue to keep doing what you're doing, we can do this together and we can succeed together. Everything that I have accomplished is because of you guys. So thank you very much. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That was totally wicked!
No matter how I do it, I just tryna make my mama proud of me. I hope my mama proud of me, cause I dubbed college just so I could focus on a dream. I know my mama died of me, salute me, nasty down with me. Now two bros going back and forth, sibling rivalry. Who this guy gotta be, do numbers like the lottery. The coldest every winter, every summer, nothing hot as me. And if I spring up, bet my nigga on the side of me, ready for a war.